were never meant to beg the universe. That's the lie you've been fed. It's why you feel disconnected, stuck, and quietly desperate, disguising it all as hope. From the start, you were taught to ask permission, from systems, from gods, from outside forces you thought controlled you. But here's the real deal. You're not a beggar. You're a creator, a storyteller, a leader of energy. The universe isn't some magic vending machine that grants wishes to the worthy. It's a vast field of endless possibilities that's always tuned into the energy behind your words, your thoughts, your vibe. It doesn't answer prayers. It reflects power. Right now, whether you realize it or not, the universe is responding to you. The only difference between people who make their dreams real and those who don't isn't belief, luck, or feelings. It's clarity, intention, focus, and alignment. This isn't magic. It's how things work. The question isn't if the universe is listening. It's what are you actually sending out? They took your voice from you early on. The moment you could speak, you were told what you could and couldn't say, what was right, what was wrong, what was safe. And when you started thinking for yourself, your mind got flooded with distractions, cartoons, lessons, rules, stories, all sending the same hidden message. Don't question, don't challenge, don't create your own way, just follow. You were trained to ask, to hope, to wait for answers that never came. School didn't teach you how to think, it taught you how to obey. You were praised for repeating, punished for questioning. Your imagination was treated like a problem. Your daydreams were seen as chaos, but here's what they never told you. Those daydreams were practice, early drafts of your natural ability to shape reality with your mind. They told you God was somewhere outside you. That creation was a distant thing done long ago by others. That power belonged to someone else. And in that silence, they built systems, rules, and hierarchies. You were told who to trust, what to fear, what success looked like, and what failure meant. None of it was really yours. But it all became the framework of your beliefs. And belief matters, because if you think you're small, your voice will be small. If you believe the universe is distant, you'll whisper when you should command. If you believe you don't deserve good things, you'll shut them out. The system isn't broken. It was designed to quiet the God inside you. You weren't just told how to live. You were programmed to forget you ever had a choice. Think about it. You've probably spent most of your life waiting for something to change, waiting for a sign, waiting for the right moment or the right version of yourself to show up. But waiting is the opposite of speaking. It's silence pretending to be a plan, and silence is the first step toward giving up. Every time you hesitate, the universe hears doubt. Every time you put things off, it picks up confusion, and confusion creates noise. Noise creates conflict. Conflict creates stuckness. That's why the universe seems to listen to some people and ignore others. It's not about worthiness or luck. It's about clarity and command. The universe reflects back whatever energy is strongest. The strongest signal comes from those who remember, I'm not here to ask. I'm here to speak. Some truths are too deep for this space. If you want more, sign up for Insights Academy, our free newsletter where the real knowledge lives. You'll also get a digital copy of the Kabbalon, but only for a limited time. Links are in the description. They didn't just hide the truth. They buried it under guilt, shame, and rituals. They wrapped power in rules and told you it was dangerous to touch. But it's not dangerous. It's precise. It's an energetic law. Like gravity pulls you down, your words pull reality into form. And like gravity, it doesn't care what you believe. It responds to use, not worship, not rituals, not memorized prayers. It responds to the part of you that dares to be the source, not just a follower. You weren't meant to live passively. You weren't meant to wander through life like it's a maze made by someone else. You aren't a servant of energy. You're the voice that guides it. The longer you stay small, the louder your life echoes that silence back to you. Now's the time to remember what's been buried. The ancient ones didn't hope. They declared. They didn't just imagine, they embodied. Their words weren't wishes, they were tools, weapons, codes sent out with precision. This is what you've forgotten, but forgetting isn't losing. If you've forgotten, that means you can remember. The universe isn't watching you, it's responding to you constantly, instantly, without judgment. It doesn't wait for your best day or perfect version. It reflects what you send out right now, in this moment, as you are. Not what you hope for or think you deserve, but what your energy and focus say is real. You've been trained to look outside for proof before you believe. But belief doesn't come from proof, it creates it. What you focus on grows, not because of magic, but because of how things actually work. Quantum physics calls it the observer effect. The act of watching turns possibilities into reality. What was just a maybe becomes real the moment you pay attention. It doesn't need belief, just focus. Energy flows where attention goes. The universe doesn't care about right or wrong, good or bad. It responds to intensity, clarity, and repetition. That's it. Like a remote control, it doesn't care what channel you pick, it just responds to your choice. The universe just reflects what you put out. That's how your mind shapes reality. Most people go through life feeling like they're stuck because of outside circumstances. They say stuff like, "I'll believe it when I see it." But quantum physics says it's actually the other way around. You see it because you believed it first. Every thought, feeling, and expectation sends a message out into the universe. Most people send out messages full of doubt, mixed signals, and emotional noise, then wonder why their lives feel chaotic. But the universe is exact. It gives back what you broadcast. That's why people who seem super sure of themselves often end up shaping their reality to match that confidence. It's not arrogance. It's being in sync with what they want. Their message doesn't waver. They don't plead with the universe, they program it. They speak like it's already done. Not because they're delusional, but because they understand how things work. They're not hoping to get something. They're deciding to create it. And the universe, like a perfect mirror, reflects that back. Everything you see in your life right now is old information. It's the result of what you sent out before. So, your future is already moving forward based on what you focus on today. Most people never break that cycle. They react to old patterns, repeating them with every thought, complaint, or fear disguised as being realistic. But you don't have to do that. You can change the loop. Your mind isn't just a processor, it's a transmitter. It's not here just to understand reality, it's here to create it. You're not just watching life happen, you're broadcasting it. The universe is your screen, and whatever picture you hold in your mind becomes the image you see in your life. This isn't just some philosophy, it's physics. Energy looks for a match. The universe reacts to what you send out. You've just been running on autopilot like you're holding the remote but not really controlling it. Now, you get to take control. Every worry you repeat is like asking for what you don't want. Every focused fear is inviting it to happen, and every time you choose to believe what you want is already on its way, you speed up how fast it comes to you. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing the reality you want to power up. Your life right now isn't set in stone. It's just the result of the main energy you've been sending out. Change your input, change your pattern, change your life. You weren't put here to just watch life happen. You were put here to change it, and when you stop reacting and start intentionally broadcasting, the world adjusts. Not because it's kind, but because that's how the law works. It's time to stop being a spectator and start using your remote. They want you to think manifestation is some mystical thing, only for a lucky few or spiritual elites. But manifestation isn't mysterious or wishful thinking. It's about understanding energy. Clear, focused, directed energy. That's what separates people who get things done from those who keep waiting for permission. Manifestation isn't about feelings. It's about intention. Real intention isn't just a quick thought wrapped in hope. It's a clear, firm decision to send a specific command into the universe without any doubt underneath. You've done it before, probably without realizing it. Think about those times when everything just clicked, when things lined up perfectly and quickly. That wasn't a coincidence. That was clarity. That was you accidentally sending out a strong enough signal to cut through the noise. Most people think they're setting intentions, but really they're begging with confusion. They want abundance but keep focusing on lack. They say they want love but send out fear and loneliness. Their words say one thing, but their energy says another. The universe doesn't listen to words. It listens to the feeling behind them. That's why clarity is more powerful than just positive thinking. You can think all the good thoughts you want, but if your energy is scattered or unsure, nothing happens. Your signal gets lost before it even connects. That's why ancient wisdom focused so much on intention. Hermetic philosophy wasn't about blind belief. It was about mental focus, discipline, and pure energy. The ancients knew the mind was the first tool of creation, and intention was its sharpest tool. That's why true intention doesn't feel like a wish. It feels like a command, a calm, firm decision. Reality can't ignore. Not because it's loud, but because it's steady. Intentional energy is like a tuning fork. The clearer the tone, the faster the universe matches it. But most people throw out emotional noise, doubt, distractions, and worries, and then wonder why nothing happens. The universe doesn't reject you. It just can't read a scrambled signal. When your intention is pure, no second guessing, no attachment to timing or outcome, it becomes law. Not in a poetic way, but in the actual energy structure of the universe. The universe isn't personal. It doesn't reward good people or punish bad ones. It organizes itself around intention. You're either sending a strong message or you're not. There's no in between. You've seen it in others. The ones who move with purpose, say what they mean what they say, and act like they already have what they want. They're not faking confidence. They're aligning their energy. And life shifts because the universe can't ignore clear signals. It responds faster to clarity than charm, faster to calm than struggle. So ask yourself, what do you really want? And more importantly, can you hold that intention steady without letting outside noise shake it? Because if you can, everything will start moving. Not because you earned it, but because that's how energy works. It's not about how long you've waited. It's about how energy follows structure. Intention is that structure. It's the plan that shapes what shows up. You're not waiting on a miracle. You're waiting for yourself to stop sending out mixed signals. Say what you want once, mean it, live like it's already happening, and don't contradict yourself after that. That's how you speed things up. That's how you change what happens. That's how you become the builder, not just the watcher. Your words aren't just sounds or a way to talk to people. They're like spells, programs, or codes that get stamped into the universe, whether you realize it or not. Every sentence you say either builds your reality or breaks it down. Every phrase you repeat becomes a pattern the universe reflects back to you. Most people don't realize how much damage their words do when they speak without thinking. We're taught to think language is neutral, just a way to name things. But ancient wisdom knew better. In old teachings, the spoken word was the first act of creation. The word came before the world. Why? Because sound is vibration, and vibration moves matter. Your subconscious doesn't get sarcasm, doubt, or jokes pretending to be jokes. It takes your words, especially repeated ones, and files them as truth. I'm always broke. I'm terrible at relationships. This always happens to me. You think you're just venting, but you're actually giving the universe clear instructions to repeat those patterns. The more emotion behind what you say, the faster it sinks in and runs on autopilot, shaping your life while you call it bad luck. Words aren't passive. They create neural pathways and fire energy into reality. That's why affirmations, mantras, and declarations work. Not because they're magic, but because they're consistent messages sent to the system. You're either speaking life or repeating loops. And if you don't notice what you're saying, chances are you're repeating someone else's programming. Words passed down from your parents, teachers, or culture that you never questioned. When you say I am, whatever comes next is a command to the universe. I am tired. I am always behind. I am not good enough. These aren't just feelings, they're orders. The universe doesn't hear complaints, it hears instructions. I am is sacred. It's the door to making things happen. When you say I am, you're not describing yourself, you're commanding your reality. The power of language isn't in fancy words, it's in being clear. When you speak without focus, the universe gets confused. But when you speak with force, focus, and alignment, the universe has no choice but to respond. That's why some people only have to say something once and it starts happening, because there's no mixed message in their energy. Their words come with belief, emotion, and action. That kind of speech builds momentum and cuts through the noise. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be intentional. Pay attention to the phrases you repeat, especially when you're frustrated, tired, or doubting yourself. That's the language shaping your life. Rewrite it, reprogram it. Change I can't to I'm learning. Change I'm stuck to I'm realigning. Speak not just with hope, but with clear direction. Speak like the builder of your experience, not the victim of your circumstances. And it's not only about what you say out loud. Your inner thoughts are even more powerful because they're unfiltered. The thoughts you whisper to yourself when no one's listening are the purest signals. That's the real programming. Clean it up, redirect it, take control of the story running through your head, and start speaking as the person you're becoming, not the person you want to escape. The universe is listening. Every word is a command. The only question is, are you using your voice to build your future or just repeat your past? You've heard it before. Match the frequency of what you want and you'll attract it. It's everywhere, from motivational posters to yoga classes. Sometimes said like it's just a nice idea. But it's not a metaphor. It's a formula. The real way reality works. Everything, from the chair you're sitting on to the life you want, has a frequency, a vibrational blueprint. And so do you. The question is, are you matching that frequency or pushing it away? Vibration isn't about mood. It's not about forcing a smile or pretending to be okay. It's not fake positivity. It's your real emotional, mental, and energetic state every day. It's your habits, your reactions, your automatic thoughts. It's what your nervous system broadcasts when you're not even trying. That's what the universe reads. That's the signal it locks on to. When your vibration doesn't line up with what you want, nothing changes. You can say all the right affirmations, journal until your hand hurts, and picture your dream life every morning, and still be stuck because your energy doesn't match your vision. You want freedom, but you vibrate fear. You want wealth, but you vibrate scarcity. You want love, but you vibrate loneliness. The universe isn't rejecting you. It's just reading your signal, and it always delivers what matches it. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you're set to 91.2 FM, you won't hear what's playing on 103.7. It's not that what you want doesn't exist. It's that you're not tuned in. That's what most people do with their goals. They're on the wrong frequency, waiting for something they can't actually receive. They think manifestation means pulling something in from outside, but really, it's about aligning yourself to receive what's already there. The version of you who already has what you want is real. That timeline exists. The only thing standing between you and that reality is alignment. Tesla said, "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." He didn't say emotion or effort. He said frequency. Because that's what reality runs on. Your body is like a transmitter. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are the code you send out. Change the code, and the results change. This isn't just spiritual talk, it's science. Your brain is an electrical network. Your heart creates an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet away. You're constantly sending out a message into the universe. You just weren't taught how to control it. But you can. It starts with noticing how you really feel. Not just surface-level feelings, but how you exist day to day. What state are you in when you're not trying? That's your main frequency. And you don't have to fake being upbeat. You need to change your base level. When your baseline changes, reality shifts to match it. It's not about being loud or intense. It's about being steady and consistent. You don't have to shout your intentions. You just have to become the frequency that matches them without contradiction. Start paying attention to the gap between who you say you are and who you actually vibrate as. If you feel resistance, anxiety, self-doubt, or hesitation, that's your signal. That's where things don't line up. And that's not failure, that's a tool. Resistance isn't blocking you. It's pointing you to what you need to let go of, rewrite, or realign. Use it, adjust, and then settle into the new state. When your vibration becomes clear and steady, the universe stops hesitating. Life stops getting stuck. People, opportunities, and moments start coming to you naturally. Not because of luck, but because you're in sync. You've stopped sending mixed signals and started living as the version of yourself who already has what you want. The universe doesn't give you what you think you deserve. It gives you what matches your vibration. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. So become that frequency and watch your results show up. Hoping is the language of feeling powerless. It sounds innocent and humble. It even feels spiritual. I hope it works out. I hope the universe hears me. I hope this time is different. But under hope is a quiet giving up, a belief that you don't control what happens next. That all you can do is wish hard and maybe something out there will pick you. That's not manifestation. That's learned helplessness dressed up in spiritual words. You were never meant to hope. You were meant to declare. Hope means you're unsure. Command means you know who you are. Hope waits. Command acts. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people who think they're manifesting are really just waiting politely for permission. They cover it up with vision boards and positive quotes. But underneath, their energy is fragile, dependent, and unsure. The law of attraction, as it's often taught, is watered down and weak. It's popular not because it's powerful, but because it's safe. It asks nothing from you except to believe and smile. It turned a powerful tool into a feel-good slogan. It took away the responsibility and discipline. It told people if they think good thoughts and act nice, the universe will reward them. But the universe isn't a vending machine. It's a mirror that reflects your frequency, not your politeness. That's why people say, I tried manifesting and it didn't work. What they really mean is, I asked, waited, hoped, and didn't change how I felt inside. They focused on results instead of energy. They thought manifestation was about wanting, but it's really about mastery. Not forcing control, but aligning so perfectly that reality has no choice but to move. When you speak with authority, the universe listens. It doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to certainty. You've been taught to think certainty is arrogance, that confidently stating your desires is delusional or entitled. But confidence isn't arrogance. It's clarity, and clarity is magnetic. When you clear the shakiness in your energy, when you stop hoping and start declaring, your whole life's tone changes. You move from asking to directing, from waiting to creating. Command doesn't mean yelling or demanding. You're not shouting at the sky. You're living as if your outcome is already real, with steady, unwavering energy. You become solid, like a tuning fork that never wavers. You say it once, then live as if it's already true. That's commanding. That's manifestation without confusion. Look at people who intentionally shape their lives. They don't beg for change. They decide on it. They don't keep explaining their desires. They live them. They don't manifest by chance. They manifest by law. They've moved past surface-level ideas and into how reality really works. They speak and things move, not because they're special, but because they've chosen to command. And here's what that looks like. It's about speaking your desires confidently without apologizing for them. Saying, this is what I'm making happen, instead of, I really hope this works out. It means dropping the if and replacing it with when. It's about acting like you already have what you want, not waiting around for proof that you deserve it. You can journal all you want, imagine your dreams until your eyes hurt, or meditate for hours. But if you keep doubting yourself, feeling small, or asking for permission, that's exactly what you'll keep attracting. Manifestation doesn't happen just because you're in the right mood. It happens when your mindset sends clear commands, not questions. When your words become orders, not wishes. When your energy says, "This is already mine," instead of, "I hope I'm worthy." Hope feels safe because it doesn't demand much, but that safety is a trap. It keeps your power asleep and delays your future. So stop hoping and start commanding. Speak like you're already in charge. Not because you need the universe to approve you, but because you remember the truth. The universe is always listening. It doesn't turn off when you stop talking or when you get distracted. It doesn't pause or ignore you because you didn't mean what you said. It's always paying attention, not just to your fancy goals or positive quotes on your wall, but to your most common thoughts, your repeated stories, the energy you carry when no one else is watching. Every thought is like a prayer. Every feeling is an order. Every belief shapes the reality around you. Many people think manifesting only happens when they light a candle, write in a journal, or say their goals out loud. But manifestation isn't a ritual. It's a constant broadcast. You're not turning it on, you're tuning into it. You're always creating, even when you think you're just reacting. Like when you're stressed about waking up late or feeling unworthy because someone didn't reply. Those little fears and doubts, they all send signals, and they become your reality. The universe isn't about right or wrong. It's math. It doesn't care about your best moments. It averages your main vibe. That's why one positive moment isn't enough if it's buried by hours of worry and self-doubt. You might say, "I'm abundant," once in the morning. But if you spend the rest of the day stressing over bills and fearing the future, what do you think the universe hears? Most people get this wrong. They treat reality like a mood ring, something that changes with how they feel in the moment. But reality follows patterns, not spikes. It reacts to your usual mindset, not your occasional hopes. So the real work isn't about forcing good thoughts, but letting go of the ones that drain you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. And for that, you need awareness. Start noticing your mental habits, how you talk about your life when you're upset or tired. That's your prayer. That's the code you're sending out. And the universe doesn't take notes, it takes orders. You might think you're just sharing your feelings, but really, you're asking for more of the same. Complaints, sarcasm, pessimism disguised as being realistic. Those aren't just descriptions. They're commands that keep your reality stuck. But here's the thing no one tells you. As soon as you change your story, your broadcast changes too. Not when everything's perfect, not when you've healed all your wounds. The moment you pick a new way of thinking, the universe starts to rearrange itself. It doesn't take years, just intention, awareness, and the discipline to stop arguing with your limits. This is the power of being present, not as some spiritual escape, but as a smart move. When you become present, you interrupt old programming. You stop the background noise and put in a new signal, clearly and with confidence. Every time you catch yourself stuck in old patterns and choose differently, you break an old timeline and start a new one. The more you do this, the stronger your signal gets, and the faster you see results. You're not just thinking. You're coding reality. Not just feeling. You're sending energy. The universe doesn't care if you know this or not. It's always responding. So the real question isn't, is it working? But, what am I really putting out there? What message have I been sending most? What vibe have I made normal? This is where real control starts. You realize manifesting isn't something you do sometimes. It's something you're always doing. The universe isn't ignoring you. It's just following your lead. Your life isn't stuck. It's just showing the pattern you've repeated most. Once you get this, you stop waiting for signs and start being the sign. At some point, remembering this isn't enough. Knowing the truth doesn't have power until you speak it, live it, and become it. You've felt those moments when everything aligns, the world shifts because you made a decision. What seemed far away suddenly comes close, like it was waiting on your signal all along. Now it's time to own your part. Not as someone who just lets things happen, but as the one who creates them. That's the shift that separates dabblers from empire builders. Those who heal, create, and manifest. Not by luck, but by law. They don't ask the universe for favors. They don't wait around for signs. They become the sign. Their energy isn't asking for permission, it's giving the order. They don't send out doubt. They create reality with every word, every choice, and every quiet agreement inside. And here's the honest truth most people won't admit. You're already doing this. You're already sending commands to the universe. The problem is you're doing it from a place of doubt and weakness. Every time you say, "I can't," or "that's just how I am," you're sending a message that locks in your limits. The universe doesn't argue with you. It just says, "Okay, as you wish," and moves to match what you say. The universe isn't interested in what you want. It follows what you claim. And the truth is, you've been claiming your limits way more than your dreams. Speaking as the creator means taking back your voice, not for ego or attention, but for truth. The creator doesn't need applause or reassurance. It knows what it says becomes real. It speaks calmly and clearly, not forcefully. It decides, then aligns. And that's when things start to move, not because of willpower, but because reality has no choice. You're not here waiting for your dream life to show up. You're here to call it in loudly and clearly. You're here to be the energy that pulls the future toward you. You don't do this by repeating affirmations you don't believe. You do it by being so aligned that you can't contradict yourself. That's what speaking as a creator really means. Not being louder, but clearer. Not faster, but deeper. This doesn't mean being perfect. It means being honest. It means catching the times you soften your truth because you're afraid it might not work. Let go of that fear. It's leftover noise from an old version of you that didn't know what you know now. That the universe listens more to the quiet confidence inside you than to how loud you say things. So talk like it's already done. Act like it's already here. Align yourself because your life depends on it. Because it really does. The next chapter of your life won't come from how hard you try, but from the energy you put out, your words, and your ability to hold the creator's vibration, not just the creation. When you speak with that kind of confidence, the universe doesn't hesitate. It responds, right now, not later. And if you've made it this far, you're one of us. Join Insights Academy, our free newsletter full of deeper knowledge we can't fit here, and grab the Sibelian as a free download. Don't just watch, live this. The universe is waiting for clear instructions, not from your emotions or doubts, but from your authority and focus. So next time you speak, ask yourself, am I talking like the one who builds, or like the blueprint waiting to be built? If it's not the builder, pause, reset, and speak again. You don't need more proof, signs, quotes, or coincidences to finally believe what your soul's been telling you all along. You're not here to repeat old stories, you're here to write new ones, not with hesitation or politeness, but with focus, presence, and power. This isn't about waiting to be perfect before you step into your power. It's about stepping into it now, before the results, before the proof, because that's what changes everything. Too many treat manifesting like reacting to life, but it's really about owning your role as the creator. When you speak your desires, you start to live them. When you live them, you become them. Not because life gets easy or everything changes overnight, but because you stop fighting yourself. You stop blocking your signal with old fears and start sending out the energy of the person you want to be, the version that already exists in your future. That's what embodiment means. It's not pretending you've already won. It's aligning your thoughts, actions, and feelings with the reality you're creating. You move through your day like someone who already has it. You speak like it's done. You use your energy like your future is safe and certain. That's what creates real change. The universe doesn't want fake. It wants real. Real means matching your words with your feelings and actions. It means living so true to yourself that anything out of alignment can't stick around. Speak it, live it, be it. That's the secret. Say what you want clearly, without mixed messages. Live it every day with discipline, good choices, and commitment. Breathe it into your life until it feels natural. Not like effort, but like home. Then manifesting stops being just an idea and starts being inevitable. Not magic, just you being clear. You don't need to work harder or wait longer. You just need to clear out the noise. Stop trying to convince yourself and start living like it's already yours. It's not just talking to the universe, it's talking as the universe. True manifesting doesn't feel desperate. It feels like remembering who you really are. A power you never lost, just forgot how to use. Every word, thought, and reaction either pulls you closer to your true self or pushes you away. When you're tired of waiting and doubting, that's when you stop asking and start becoming. The universe doesn't want more wishes. It wants clear, strong signals. This is the final step. You're not chasing dreams anymore. You're closing the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. That shift starts with one choice. Speak like the source, not the seeker. The blueprint is inside you already. You're not building something new. You're coming back to what's always been there. Let go of fear. Stop delaying. Speak, live, be. If this message hits home for you, drop a comment saying, "I got it."